Fantasy from the fairway, Jenkins. Let's not bury the lead here. A lot happened last week, but most importantly, I have a question for you as a man that goes to the gym. I did some wall sits, very little activity, some lunges down the hallway, and I can barely stand up. Walking down the stairs at work, almost fell twice. Please tell me why that's the case.
Yeah, I think your muscles, just clearly aren't used to it. I'm gonna give you props to the wall sits. Those aren't that fun. And then once you keep doing it, you put some plates on your legs while you're doing it. It's a good time.
Yeah, I don't see me getting that far at this point. I'm just hoping to be able to walk normal again.
Yeah.
The people at the post office probably made fun of me earlier today.
Does it feel like every muscle in your lower body is torn?
Torn and broken, yes, sir.
Okay.
But
then you did something right then.
Hey, that's really all that matters. My ass is also burning a little bit as well. But anyway,
Sure.
to the point, let's not bury the lead, Junior. 300 points from Russell Henley. I'll tell you a true story. I do two different picks. I do these picks. I do picks on the radio. And I was under the impression when I made my radio pick that I had picked Sung J M on Fantasy from the Fairway. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
and
right.
I like Sung J M, so I picked him on the radio. So when Sung J M had missed the cut, I thought, okay, I'm done again, per the usual. I suck, and I'm not any good at this. So then it didn't dawn on me until you texted me like, hey, this might be a big shift. I said, what happened? I'm under the impression Sung J is missing the cut. I'm like, what? You must have the winner. And then I realized I've picked Russell Henley. And then from that point on, I was all in until Sunday morning when I bet on Hideki Matsuyama plus 225 to be the winner. Live bet. That ended up working out for me. But nevertheless, 300 points, Russell Henley. Take a bow. And Wes Bryan, look, pretty close. You know what I'm saying? As close as you can get. Not mad at it. Made the right pick. Just one stroke off. And overall, you were horrible. What was going through your mind with that?
Hey, yeah, let me tell you, Wes Bryan, tied 27th, is a lot closer to top 25 than Matt Jones or Brendan Steele came. So props to Wesley and his pink pants. And then, I was a bit confused when I was texting you, and you were a little bit confused as well.
Yeah.
I thought you were complaining about the guy being in first place, like you wanted him to be doing a bit better. But I mean, Here we are. 300 points. It looks like you are going to take the FedEx Cup points this year.
Well, it's early, only week 5, but it is a commanding lead, 260 some points, or a little less, 50 some. But nevertheless, what a week for Russell Henley. And that brings us to obviously top 3 earners. Russell Henley gets the first spot. What I wanted to make sure I got the picture of there of him losing, just so everybody realizes he didn't indeed win. He did lose.
Absolutely. I like it. And he didn't even lose. He I'm not going to say that word. He choked.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
5-stroke lead going into the back 9.
Yeah, he didn't make a birdie on the back, but at the same time,
dude.
Deck was 5 under.
That's a choke. You don't lose by 5 strokes in 9 holes.
That's true. That's true. Interesting way to look at it. Leave a comment. Did Russell Henley choke, or did he get beat by Hideki Matsuyama? We want to know. Let us know on the social media as well. Fantasy from the Fairway. We might check that. Maybe unlikely, but maybe. You never know. As we move on to the American Express and Junior, I'm confused. You're gonna have to explain this one to me. PGA West, but there's 3 different courses, 3 different yardages, par 72s. What in the hell's going on?
Yeah, so all the courses are going to be par 72s this week. They're going to range from 7,060 to 7,181 yards. We have the stadium course, which will be the only course that will be played twice. It is the hardest course out of the 3. We then have the tournament course, which is like in between the stadium and La Quinta. That one's going to be actually the longest course. That's 7,181 yards. And then we have La Quinta Country Club. So last year, I think this is why it's a bit confusing. Last year, because of COVID, when we did this tournament on Fantasy from the Fairway, we only played the stadium course and tournament course. So they played the stadium course 3 times. But now with COVID restrictions being, I guess, a bit more lenient, they're re-entering La Quinta back into the tournament. So all the players in the field will be playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They will play each of the course 1 time. Each course, I said that correctly.
Yep.
And then top 65 and better, or tied 65th and better after those 3 days on 3 different courses, you will stay to play the stadium course on Sunday.
So ideally, you want to play La Quinta and the tournament course on Friday or Thursday, Friday to make sure you make the cut. But the flip side of that is you'd have to play the stadium course twice right after.
Well, no matter what, you're playing Saturday. Everybody who enters the field, unless they withdraw, are going to play Saturday. So everybody's going to get a shot at each of the courses. And then the top 65 will stay to play the stadium course. So it's a bit weird. Even if you miss the cut, you're playing 3 days, but here's what it is.
It's different. As we roll along to the key stats, Junior, you got the distance favored. That's a good one. Proximity to the hole, par 4 scoring, and the recent history on the nice little golf course that is all the ones that we or Junior just talked about.
So this is the stadium course, and it's kind of funny because honestly, this is like one of the ugliest courses in my opinion, just because like it's brown. But I mean, regardless, it is the course that's being played, so we're gonna put it on the screen. But yeah, strokes gained off the tee is gonna be big. And then if you do have distance, it is favored because there are fairway bunkers, but most of the players in the field should be able to carry them. And then the La Quinta and the tournament course actually don't keep data. So it's kind of hard to guess for this tournament, but we're going to do the best we can.
And I'm sure the people that did these tournaments in the past on DraftKings and whatnot made videos like ourselves definitely saw Andrew Landry, Adam Long, and Siwoo Kim coming. So that's different. The scoring does end up being pretty low, but there's the boys. Adam Long, back when he was with Nike because he's not with them anymore. Landry against all odds, and then Siwoo as well, pretty much against all odds. Those are your previously winners, which means anybody could win it. So you don't necessarily have to pick a big time player, but if you did, these are the options. In the 10K and above, you got John Rahm, you got Patrick Cantlay, Scotty Scheffler, Tony Finau Jr. No disrespect, brother, but what the hell's going on? Scotty Scheffler at the top, Patrick Cantlay in third. What in the wide world of sports is going on with the disrespect you have for the Sonny's Family Feast, Patrick Cantlay?
I don't want to say I'm disrespecting him because once again, kind of like last week, I don't think there's a bad play in the 10K range. But Scotty, his last 4 have been 4th, 2nd, 57th, and then 2nd.
Yeah, so I remember that 57th. That's when I picked him.
That's fair. That hurts. Yeah,
that hurt.
But and Scotty also does have the distance. I'm all good with Scotty here. I think out of them 4, to be honest, he'll probably be the least owned, him or Finau. So I'm good with playing Scotty Scheffler. I think he's hot, and just I'm on the hot train right now, even though it didn't work with Matt Jones, of course. But here we are.
You can't win them all, brother. But here's the thing: if you want to stay on the hot train, last 3 times we saw Patrick Cantlay. He won the Tour Championship. He then won the Ryder Cup, and he then finished 4th at the Century Tournament of Champions. So yeah, I know those are a very big distance apart, but guys playing well.
I will give it to you too on the stadium course. Past 14 rounds, I think it was. He is first in strokes gained.
Yeah, he's
so can't
pretty good. He hasn't played enough to have his stats register on the
right.
But
he's one of the few guys I'm not worried about that he hasn't played a lot.
No, he's been playing incredibly well. So that's why I have him in the 1. We both have John Rahm in the 2. I was wrong about John Rahm whenever I disrespected him and said he was too much money and all that, or at Century.
I did the same thing, yeah.
So I was wrong about that, but even at the price here, I think I can't go wrong with John Rahm.
Absolutely, I agree. And then
Tony Finau.
I think Finau just kind of slides to the bottom just because of the other 3 players. It's not that I don't like him.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. So that's how I see it. That's how you see it. 10K and above, and Junior. The 9K, so many questions. Need some answers. Will Zalatoris is back, it looks like. Russell Henley finishes 2nd. You got him as Brown. And Sung JM is a thumbs down. Interested to hear all those explanations.
Yep. I figured if anything, you'd be quite pleased to know that Sung Jae was a thumbs down after all the faith you put in him last week.
Yeah, I mean, Sung Jae, I am disappointed by what happened last week, but he'd been playing too well. I feel like it's a one-off what happened last week, and it was really one bad round because that second round he shot, I believe, 4 under par, but he was just so bad the first round. Right. So I'm not going to hold one bad round against him, but it looks like you might be.
All right. Yeah, and it's hard with the data, like I was talking about how the 2 courses don't take data, so you're kind of just trying to use the stadium course data, I guess.
Yeah.
But one of the key stats for the stadium course is proximity. He is tied 119th in that he was cut from the field last week. And last week I just had a bad feeling about Sungjae. I ranked him last and it worked out for me. And this is the same thing this week. Like I like Sungjae, but I don't know why I just don't feel good about playing him right now.
Sure.
Not sure why, but to be honest, that's why he has made it to the thumbs down list. Taylor Gooch, honestly, just crazy what he's doing. It's kind of cool. Last week we got to see him on. I'm sure you watched ESPN Plus or PGA Tour Live or whatever. There's like we never get to see him on that. He's really good at golf.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I follow him on like ESPN through the app and all that, just like score by score. But I honestly have never gotten the chance to watch him play. Dude can play golf. Good in proximity, tied 39th. Good in par 4 scoring, tied 18th. 29th birdie or better. He's 8 for 8 this year with a win, 15th, 27th place finishes. I'm all good with Taylor Gooch.
It's interesting you say that, by the way, about Gooch, because I feel like you could say the exact same thing about Seamus Power.
No, absolutely. And that's another crazy thing. Dude, if you would have told me in the beginning of this year that I would be ranking Seamus Power at 9,500, I would have told you to kick rocks.
And thumbsing him up nonetheless in an event that's not the Bermuda, not in the fall or something,
right?
You know,
right. The dude can play. Dude can absolutely play. 71st or better in all the key stats. Tied 13th par 4 scoring. Tied 35th birdie or better. His last 3 finishes have been 3rd, 15th, and 4th on tour. I feel like 9,500 is completely valid. I don't think that's too much for him, and I am fine with playing him at that range. I do think he's one of the guys who at some point this year will fall off and he'll I don't want to put this on him, but I think he will be back to like the 7K range. But right now he's hot enough to where you shouldn't have any problem playing with him if you're done with the other 5 guys and you're at 9,500. Corey Connors is a guy that I don't mind here, but I'm not going to thumbs him up or thumbs him down. He's just kind of for me this week. 50th in the proximity, 5 for 6 so far on tour this year. But he has no top 10s, which I think is interesting for Corey Connors. But I'm sure he'll get there. He's done fine all year. You shouldn't have any problems playing him, but I'm probably going to stay away from him this week after I put a lot of faith in him last week. Matt Wolff is a guy I do really like here. It's crazy to me. Matt Wolff sucked for a long time, and then it turned out like the mental health thing came out, and then he came back. Since coming back, his 4 finishes have been 17th, 2nd, 5th, and 11th. He's tied 37th at par 4 scoring and tied 9th birdie or better. Matt Wolff has the distance. He should have no problem at this course at all.
Fancy from the fairway, fueled by water.
Dasani water, apparently.
Hey, they make Coke, bro. Coke
apparently, I got the COVID or something.
Oh, that's good.
But moving right on to Abraham Answer, he's going to be a thumbs down for me. He missed the cut last week, which won you some money, luckily.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
And then the week before this century, he finished 35th in a field of 39. So he's not playing that well. I'm just going to stay away from him. And then we got Will Zalatoris. His last 3 starts on the PGA Tour have been 104th, 54th, and then 84th. So he is 1 for 3, which is not that good. So I'm going to put him thumbs down, but I do think he can get back on track at this course. So that's why he's brown. And then Russell Henley, you saw what happened to Cam Smith. He went and won the tournament at Century. And I think like competing and being in a close race on Sunday, like I think that takes a lot out of you. And you kind of see it. He missed a cut last week after setting PGA records the week before. So I think Russell Henley might just be a bit like mentally exhausted, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And
so
yeah,
he is thumbs up, but I'm going to put him brown because I do think, like, I don't know, that loss couldn't be easy to go through mentally when you're winning, going into the back 9 on Sunday by 5 strokes, then losing like that. That's got to suck.
Yeah, and he's talked about it a few times, having to sleep on a lead and how that's not easy for him. And then he goes out and does that. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from in terms of mentally exhausted. And look, it's very rare that you play that well back to back. So I think the price hike is expected and probably fair, but at the same time, probably not something that you can buy as we roll into the 8K. And this is there's an interesting 8K graphic for a lot of reasons. A
Yeah.
lot of questions on this one, but I'm happy to see Justin Rose thumbs up. Ricky Fowler disappointed to see him thumbs down, but you do what you got to do. But I guess we start with Patrick Reed.
Yeah, when I was doing the AK graphic, I was a bit surprised myself to see who ended up where. But
Yeah.
we are going to start off with Patrick Reed at 8,800. I'm fine with him. His numbers, if you look him up for the year, they're horrible. But his last two finishes have been 3rd and 15th. He's also 3rd on the stadium course in strokes gained over the past 14 rounds, I believe it was. So I'm all good with Patrick Reed. Justin Rose comes in next at 86. He's been like what's the word I would say? Quietly hot.
Okay.
Like,
it.
hasn't drawn a lot of buzz, but he's been good. His last two have been 12th and 9th on the PGA Tour, but he has been playing a lot in Europe, so we haven't seen him too much.
Sure.
27th in procs, tied 31st in par 4 scoring. I'm all good with Justin Rose. I'm glad to see that he is playing better.
Mhm.
Ricky Fowler is another guy who is playing much, much, much better. He's actually 4th this year so far off the tee strokes gained.
Wow.
But in my opinion, he's just still a little bit too expensive for somebody you're not completely sure about.
Sure.
Of course, his name's Ricky Fowler, so he's going to be expensive because he's previously been one of the best players in the world. You definitely can play Ricky Fowler. I'm just not going to because I'm not sure if the finishes that he's had this year have been like, I don't want to say a fluke, but I just don't know if he's back to being Ricky Fowler yet. So
you got to see it.
Per the usual, Ricky Fowler is going to make the thumbs down from me.
It's tough.
It is tough. I like Ricky. And next, we got Alex Noren. And to be honest, I might be missing something, but I'm not sure why he's 8,400. 139th off the tee, 152nd proximity, 161st par 4 scoring, and 150th birdie or better. His last four have been 59th, 18th, 45th, and 120th. Too much money. Plain and simple. Siwoo Kim, the winner from last year.
Dubs only.
Dubs only. He is 2nd here on the stadium courses in strokes gained over the past 14 rounds, only trailing Patrick Cantlay by 0.01 strokes.
Wow.
So he's been good lately. He had a good finish last week. I believe it was in the 20s or 30s. I can't remember. But he is good off the tee. He makes a lot of birdies. I'm good to go with Siwoo Kim. Carlos Ortiz, we haven't seen him a lot, so I'm not really sure what to do with him. Not sure. Really not sure. I mean, his stats are good. 57th off the tee, 18th birdie or better, 46th par 4 scoring. You can definitely run Carlos Ortiz out there if you come and you need a player at 8,200. Johnny Vegas. First impressions. Confused. I was as well. Man is 3rd off the tee. He has the distance. He is a good par 4 player, tied 66th. In his last two on tour have been 26th and 12th place finishes. You can definitely play Johnny Vegas at 8,100. Luke List, how you feeling?
Not good.
Not good. Okay. I wasn't really either until I looked at it. He's 5th off the tee with his last two on tour being 11th and 10th place finishes. Luke List is hot, so I'm good with Luke List. He hits it a very, very, very far away. I think that'll be beneficial for him this week, and I'm good to go with Luke List. I would definitely play him if you have $8,000 and are thinking of playing Charles Howell III.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and these are good people that watch these videos, and they should respect your opinion. Yeah. I ain't playing Luke List.
That's why he's brown.
Luke List has lost me so much money. Hey, I'm never playing Luke List. I don't care if he's the only person in the field. I just won't play that week.
All right.
Next question.
Well, there you have it. If you have $8,000, go down to 7,900 apparently, or play Charles Howell. Up to you.
I don't know who's at 7,900, but I would play somebody there. Or Rory Sabatini.
There's a couple of good guys at 70, 79.
I like it.
And then Charles Howell just hasn't been too impressive this year so far. No.
Can't roll it with Charles Howell. Oh wait, we got to do the prop of the week though. You know what I'm saying?
Props of the week. I'll forget every time now. I forget every time.
Yeah, it's all right. But listen, if you see Casey's in the blue, but that actually means the green. I'll tell you why. Abraham Answer plus 240 to miss the cut. I told the people, hey, Abraham Answer plus 240. I had a good week last week, by the way. Gambling. It was a good one.
Yeah,
Abraham Answer missed it. Hideki Live hit it. 49ers money line, you better believe it. 49ers plus 3 or 3.5, whatever it was, you better believe it. Kyle Juszczyk, 1.5 receptions, you better believe it. Slam the over. He had 2. Now, here's who I am disappointed at. Tyler Johnson, wide receiver, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, needed 4. He had 2 and 2 drops. So 2 and 2 is 4. That one should have hit if he didn't suck. So I'm red hot. DraftKings is ice cold. Couldn't be colder. Had Russell Henley in the lineup, still didn't win money. Okay, so we're ice tray over here, not in a good way.
You can't be smart and beautiful. So if you're winning in Bovada, you can't always be hot in DraftKings as well. It's a give or take situation.
It's a give or take, and here's the thing: I'm giving the people good advice because Rory Sabatini at plus 4,000 is going to be your first round leader on the La Quinta golf course on Thursday afternoon. This guy's top 25 in first round scoring. Very good at this course. We'll talk about him in the 6'9" range, an absolute steal. No doubts in my mind, Rory Sabatini will be leading the first round at the La Quinta golf course.
Is he going to be playing with a yellow ball?
Absolutely. If he goes on the first tee and the ball's white, I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm going to know I lost money right off the top, right off the get-go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scotty Scheffler for you, first round leader?
I went with the really boring pick, Scotty Scheffler, at plus 1,600. He just can go crazy low, so I feel like it's always a safe play to go Scotty Scheffler. But the plus 4,000 does look mighty interesting over there.
I'll tell you what, hammer it twice, 3 times on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But listen, pick your prop. We got a tournament 3-ball. I have Cantley over Rahm and Sung J M. Cantley has been incredible here. Like him a lot. I know John Rahm is very good. Sung JM, I like him here. You don't necessarily do, but I think Patrick Cantlay goes lower than all those guys, gets it done. You go Wolf over Connors Reed. I low-key like that.
Yeah, I like Matthew Wolf a lot here. And if I could, I'd go Wolf over Reed over Connors, and that would be my exact guess here at this.
I like it.
At that 3-ball. Yeah.
I like it. So that's the prop of the week. Go ahead and take a picture of that, because if you had Abraham Answer missing the cut last week plus 240, you'd be in good shape. 100 would have returned to 40. But hey, just go ahead and put down 100 and win 4,000 this week when Rory Sab is your first round leader. That's prop of the week. And the 7K juniors back-to-back 7K. Now I like what I see already. Vincent Whaley is in the 7K. You know I respect that. Adam Hadwin, a favorite around here, was pretty much horrible last week. You now see him thumbs up once again. Adam Hadwin, why is that?
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm gonna go super quick here because I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Okay.
Just let you know that. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. Brian Harman does come in first in order on DraftKings, so I'll start with him being thumbs down. He finished 48th last week, which was the best finish of his season so far. I believe he's played 7 times. That's not very good. And so Brian Harman is going to make the thumbs down until he can show me a little bit better. Adam Hadwin. He hasn't been great. He's been finishing in the 40s and 50s all year. But I took a look at his DraftKings, and every single tournament so far, he's had one round that's been like 76 or like 77 or 75. Every single tournament, he's like one round away from putting together a top 25, top 10 finish. And he did finish tied 32nd here last year at this event. For some reason, I just feel like Adam Hadwin's going to have a good year.
I like it.
A good week. We do love Adam Hadwin on this show.
Big fan.
And I feel like he will turn it around.
Might break out into some O Canada.
Well, I just feel like this might be the week for O Canada.
Oh, God.
Cameron Champ does make a thumbs down list. He hasn't played since the Fortinet tournament in September 16th to be exact, where he finished 101st after shooting rounds at 73 and 71. I do think Cameron Champ will have a good year, to be honest. We haven't seen him in such a long time, and he's such a streaky player that it's hard to play him when he's fresh off of coming back, and he is $7,800.
Yeah.
Chris Kirk, I definitely think you can play him. Tied 27th last week, tied 16th last year. Russell Knox, another guy, he makes the graphic at 7,800. Tied 16th last year after a +1 or a 1 over final round. So he could have had a very good finish if he didn't. I'll say screw the pooch on Sunday.
Okay. Let him know. That's what he
Yeah.
did.
He did finish 7th last week. You're all good to go, I believe, on the Jacksonville resident. Russell
You better
Knox.
believe it. Jacksonville University graduate.
Hey.
Not as good as UNF, but close, like 9th.
Yeah, he's no KH Lee, but he's pretty good.
Oh, no, he is not.
We come to no good in Gary Woodland,
That is tough.
who is 1 for 4 this year. Gary Woodland is a guy who is very streaky as well, just like Cameron Champ. So I am afraid to play him, probably like most people will be this week.
Yep.
Michael Thompson, dude.
Yeah, this is different.
Good at golf, apparently. Or maybe he just figured something out the past couple of weeks because he's doing it. He's slinging them in there. Tied 5th last week, and he has 2 top 10 finishes at this event since 2019. Michael Thompson makes the graphic and is one of my favorite plays this week. Hayden Buckley. I feel like I'm really getting into your territory now.
I like Hayden Buckley. Yeah, good
Love
guy.
Hayden Buckley.
Quality player.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know him until this week, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
4 of his last 5 he has made the cut on tour. 12th place finished last week. He drives the ball on average 306 yards, and he is long and accurate. 27th in fairways found and 23rd in greens and regulation this year. Hayden Buckley. He has a fan in me. Who does not have a fan of me is Andrew Landry. Sadly,
never has,
good
never
guy.
Is he though? That's why I'm not a fan of him.
Not a man. Doesn't like the autographs, does he?
I forget what happened, but something happened with Andrew Landry. I forget what it was.
Something had to have happened. Oh, Jazz.
That's right. That
Wasn't that it? He didn't know who Jazz was. Oh, yeah. So Andrew Landry did not know his fellow golfer Jazz.
Doesn't know his coworkers.
His coworker, right.
What happened to Jazz?
We don't like him here, anyways. I don't know. He's been playing on the European tour a lot.
Good for Jazz, man. Quality player.
But yeah, Landry's made 2 of his 6 cuts. He's 176 in driving distance, which puts him slightly probably below me and you. 148th in birdie average. That's going to be a no on Andrew Landry.
Yeah.
Vince. I'm not even going to say nothing. Play Vince. Do not play Francesco.
Okay, very good. That's pretty.
You made. I believe Francesco is one of the guys you said you can absolutely not play him.
Yeah, played well.
And then he had a good week.
Yeah, played well.
Okay.
It was U.S. Open.
I'm going to double down. You can absolutely not play him.
Yeah, that guy got after me on Twitter. He said, "Hey, you're an idiot." I said, "Hey,
yeah, he really did.
Listen. If you put your life on the line, saying that you would not put any, like, you would not write an article saying he'd be good. Like, it's just not.
Yeah,
smart
and
to do.
He's 1 for 3 on the PGA Tour this year. He missed his last 2 cuts, and he's been playing mostly in Europe. It's just going to be a no for me. And if he plays well, I look forward to hearing from that guy on Twitter.
Yeah, me too. That guy, he's still pissed off about. It's probably him. It's probably Francesco on his burner.
It's probably a burner, absolutely.
Anyway, we rolled a 6K. Junior did a nice job with the 987. But listen, I never give up on the bums. Speaking of bums, Brandt Snedeker, absolutely not. Stats are awful. Cut last year here, just not good overall. Having a rough season. Brandt Snedeker is going to be a no. Wyndham Clark, all the stats are outside the top 100. It is close, but they're outside the top 100. T54 last yeyear here. Don't love it. Could do it, but that is only if you have 69 and you've already spent the money on Rory Sabatini. Let me tell you about Rory Sabatini, besides the fact he's your first round leader at plus 4,000. 60th off the tee, T18 par 4 scoring average, 45th birdie or better, T12 here last season. Sabatini is your guy. If you need a quality play in the 6K range, Rory Sabatini is your man. Dylan Wu is absolutely not. I would stay away from Dylan at all costs. Nick Hardy, not to be confused with anybody else with the first name or the last name Hardy. Matt, Jeff, Tom all come to mind. He's none of those people. He's Nick. He is 73rd off the tee, tied 97th par 4 scoring, 114th birdie or better. He's never played here. I'm just telling you, you can take a flyer on Nick Hardy. Zach Johnson is an absolutely no chance you could play. Henrik Norlander, the stats are absolutely horrible in the ones we looked at. However, he did finish T12 here last season, and I believe he's 6 for 7 on cuts this year. Didn't have a great finish last week, sort of let me down a little bit. But he's probably going to make this cut, Henrik Norlander. And low-key, if you want another prop to look at, Swedish player, his odds to finish highest Swedish player are pretty good in terms of Noren is the heavy favorite. So if you really don't like Noren and you think if you think Noren's going to miss the cut and you like Norlander to make the cut, then you probably go that route. Davis Riley. somebody's car is getting burglarized in my neighborhood. As long as it's not mine.
As long as it's not yours, yeah, honestly.
All right, it stopped. Good. The criminals have gone away. Davis Riley. I told you last week at $6,400 that he was the play, and he absolutely was the play. I called it. This week he's the play again at $6,800 to $400 bump. T66 par 4 scoring average, 41st birdie or better, 43rd off the tee. Davis Riley, roll him out there. Matt Naismith, not a chance. Stats are horrible. In his 2 rounds here last year, he shot a 78 and a 75. Absolutely not on Naismith. Ramey, I believe his first name is Chris, unconfirmed. But he is T66 par 4 scoring average, 59th birdie or better. He's never played here. You could take a flyer on him. Name is Ramey. First name unconfirmed, might be Chris. Check him out in the 6'8" to 6'7" range. He'll be right next to Scott Stallings, who is bad and was cut here last year. CT Pan, another guy where the stats are not very good. He was cut here last year as well. Good little run here of no's. You got Harry Higgs, cannot do it. Dylan Fratelli, who plays, I guess, once a month. That's going to be a no as well. And then Bobby Streb is also going to be a no. Doesn't fit the bill here at the American Express. Nick Taylor, the stats are not great. He did finish T47 last year, so I guess you could if you didn't want to play a guy like Grayson Sigg, who I think you should take a flyer on. 100th off the tee, 54th par 4 scoring average, 164th birdie or better. Not very good, I understand that, but listen, that's why it's just a flyer, folks. Another good run and nose here. Thigala, whatever his name is. Hudson Swafford is another guy that you can't. And again, pains me to say it, but Spankin' Hankin. What in the world's going on, brother? We need some good golf out of you. But right now it's a no from Hankin Spankin'. That's when we get to the 67 number, and you find Cameron Young. Never played here, but overall a very good golfer. T12 off the tee, T23 par 4 scoring average, and 13th birdie or better from a gentleman named Cameron Young. Absolutely have to consider him at 67.
Yeah, those are good numbers for a dude I've never heard of.
Yeah, Cameron Young.
Yeah,
Write it down. Put it in your pager. Cameron Young is going to make this cut. A guy that's definitely not is Sepp Straka. I don't know what the hell is going on with Sepp Straka. 193rd off the tee, 221 par 4 scoring average, 205 birdie or better. He was cut last year, which shouldn't surprise you with those stats. I put hell no because you couldn't even look at it. Sepp Straka, I don't know what's going on with him, but was a quality player. Loved him at some point, but right now it is ugly for Sepp. Hahn is back. He goes by James Hahn. He's 45th off the tee, 32nd here last season. Could take a flyer on Hahn. J.J. Spawn has some interesting stats. 133rd off the tee, 54th par 4 scoring average, and then 112th birdie or better. He was cut here last year, but I thought I'd give you that information. Showing up at the bottom of the graphic, you see Brian Stewart. That is going to be a no. Nothing checks out for old Brian. But you're never going to believe who you could potentially take a flyer on, Junior, and that is Ants on Food. Jason Duffner. Where's he been? Nobody knows. $6,700. He was cut here last year. Stay with me, folks. 49th off the tee. 84th par 4 scoring average. Not bad, not bad. 188 birdie or better. That is a problem. But, you know, flyer on Duffner if you have to. Wesley Bryan, another guy at 6,700. Again, love Wes Bryan, but this is not his course. Off the tee is not his strength. He's more of an iron player. I don't like Wesley Bryan here, which is a surprise, but I don't. McCumber is very good off the tee. First name Tyler. He's very bad at playing the par 4s, though, but he did finish T40 here last year. Could get a made cut out of McCumber. You looking to jump in? Looks like he had some. Got a couple more no's here in a row. McGreevy and Coles and Ryan Moore, all guys you can't consider. Nate Lashley, stats are not great. 110th off the tee, 84th par 4 scoring average, and 108th birdie or better. He was cut here last year, but at this price, being right at the top 100 mark is not bad, in my opinion. Tyler Duncan, I think, ultimately got cut last week, but was after the first day was like in the top 10. So I'm not sure what the heck happened to Tyler Duncan, but he is 50th off the tee, 97th par 4 scoring average. So, you know, not horrible stats. And finishing up this top of the 6K, two more guys that I like would be Joseph Bramlett.
There we are.
Are we sure it's not Bromley?
Pretty sure.
Okay,
Go ahead,
Bramlett. Sounds like omelet. Bromlett. Joe. We'll just call him Big Joe. You know what I'm saying? T31 off the tee. Pretty good. 147th par 4 scoring average. Not great. 132 birdie or better. Also not great. He was cut here last year. Not a lot going for you if you're Bromley. But here's the thing. I can feel it. I really think he's going to have a good week this week due to some of the stuff he's been doing recently. Give me Bromley, Big Joe. And then Andrew Novak, this another guy that surprised me with the stats. 88th off the tee, 23rd par 4 scoring average, 96th birdie or better. He's been making some cuts. Andrew Novak at 65, like both of those gents. At the price point, 6'4" to 6'0", we got Sam Ryder. I know what you're thinking. The hell, he's 4 for 4 here. Nothing that fantastic finish wise, but 4 for 4 at 64 is a good spot to be in. 67th birdie or better this season as well. Richie Werwinski is back. So he finished 21st here last season. That's what we got on him. Honestly, one of my favorite plays, my favorite play on this graphic and in the whole 6K is Brandon Hagee, who finished 21st here last year, 48th in 2020, and 3 out of 4 total here. He is 28th par 4 birdie or better this season. So playing okay. The stats do check out a bit. He hasn't played a lot, so the stats aren't great if you look at him. He's down the list, but I think he's a quality option. He knows the course well, so give me some Hagee at 62. Obviously, at 61, when you look at the 61 range, there's only one person stands out. That's Paul.
I believe it's Marianne.
That's Paul for sure. The Frenchman coming in at 6,100. And here's what we know. He was T48 last week at the Sunday Open. He's good off the tee, 69th, nice birdie or better, as well as 44th par 4 birdie or better. At 61, I think this guy's making the cut. That is Paul. And then at 6-0, you got John Pack. And frankly, the only reason we put John Pack is because usually if you're not 85 years old, you shouldn't be at the $6,000 even range. John Pack is fresh out of the Florida State University, has a lot of potential. The other guys in this range are like 86 and got in from some weird exemption. So I think John Pack has the potential. He will eventually be good. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but John Pack, he's like relatively young. He's like 21. So that's a 6-4 to 6-0. Those are the boys, and it's time, Junior and Junior. It's a mollywomping right now. So why don't you go ahead and let me know? Get my email off the screen.
Yeah, that's awkward.
You can't win them all. Got a few on Reds. Who is going to win the American Express, Junior? You're going to need some help here.
Yeah, not often. One, do you put your cell phone blast? But sometimes it happens there with the email. But to answer your question, Justin Rose. Give me Justin Rosie to win the event.
Justin Rose to win the American Express in Week 6. And Junior, I know what you're thinking. I'm definitely going to pick Patrick Cantlay. I know that's what you're thinking.
No, I think you're going to go something very interesting here, to be honest.
I'm not. I'm going to go Matthew Wolff here.
Okay.
I need to save Cantlay because I think he's very good and will win multiple times this season. Might be this week. It very well could be, but I think Matthew Wolff is very good here. And frankly, I think Matthew Wolff is healthy, it appears, mentally and physically. But on the off chance that he's not, I want to play him at some point. So I think this is as good as week as ever. So I will take Matt Wolff to win it. And Junior, I'm just going to keep rolling here. It's pretty straightforward. Rory Sabatini is the guy. He's going to finish top 25 as long as his balls are yellow. If he comes out with white ones, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to say some things I shouldn't. But Rory Sabatini, as long as he has his yellow golf balls, will finish inside the top 25.
All right.
Sab.
Yeah.
What say you?
Perfect. Give me Michael Thompson.
Not gonna lie to you, Junior. I'm too stunned to speak.
The Michael Thompson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
I feel like I'm a defeated man, honestly, at this point. So we're just going.
It is week 6, Junior. Long season.
Yeah. No.
Well, the man is defeated, and he has picked Michael Thompson along with Justin Rose to win it. I will take Matt Wolff and Rory Sabatini to finish inside the top 25 at the American Express. And I believe that just about wraps it up. Fantasy from the fairway for the American Express. Junior, any final words for the viewers? NFL lock of the weekend, quickly.
Oh, jeez. Packers versus 49ers Saturday night. Yeah,
What
Packers,
part of that?
of
Okay,
course.
Packers
Packers
money
are the
line.
lock. Yeah. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has lost his last 3, I believe, to the 49ers in the playoffs. No, I don't think he's losing again.
Interesting. You heard it here first. For Packers money line. Give me the Tennessee Titans, and it does not matter how many points they're given. Give them to the Cincinnati Bengals because the Tennessee Titans are going to win the football game.
Is Derrick Henry playing?
He will play for the Tennessee Titans at running back.
That's big. That's big.
The Yulee Bulldozer is back for Tennessee. So those are the locks of the NFL weekend. And we gave you the locks of the golf weekend fantasy from the fairway for the American Express. We'll be back next week. Do you know what's next week, Junior?
I do not.
It is somewhere in California, likely Genesis Open, but haven't checked on it, or Invitational, I should say.
We just know they will be playing golf next week.
As far as we know, there will be golf next week. There's golf this week. All kinds of UFC lock of the weekend, Junior, quickly.
I don't even know who's fighting.
Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane.
Can't give you a lot.
Okay, good. Francis Ngannou, by the way, the underdog and current champion. So that is a different. What does Vegas know that we don't? I guess we'll have to find out. Check that one out Saturday night. As well as football, golf, all the things. We're done now. No more locks of the weekend. Fantasy from the fairway. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace.